Friday night is the Rangers Journal night.
Morning, good evening, or good afternoon, depending on when you are watching this. This is the Lowdown, and my name is Doug. You're watching the Rangers Journal, and I'm here to give you the information on our upcoming opponent, St Johnstone, in our Premiership game. It's been big news on the horizon for Rangers in the last couple of days. So there's a result against Dundee, which has put the manager under more hot water. And then today we received a number of updates from a number of sources. The so-called statement from our chairman came out with a lot of news, not really any news to speak of, saying things that I think we all expected. Clement will continue to be backed for the time being. We can only sign one or two players. He's going on with a review of the club in order to strengthen the way that the club does business. All things that I think fans have heard before, are kind of tired of hearing or don't want to hear in terms of the point on Clement. The Union Bears have also come out with two statements, basically stating that they have now had enough, and protests are being organised for tomorrow's game in terms of a walkout after the 55th minute, representing what they feel is the downfall of the club since we won title number 55. So it's lots of tumultuous activity going on in this game. We'll see what happens in the match come that 55th minute in terms of how many people choose to make that walkout. I would say that's a decision for each individual fan to make. There's, I personally don't think there's a right or wrong answer. You've paid your money. You have your own viewpoint, so you have that decision to make come that moment in time. But it will be interesting to see, as I say, the depth of feeling that runs through the potential emptying of the stadium at that point. But we're here to talk about the opponents and what we can expect in a footballing term from this game. So let's jump right into it with our current form. Rangers, as we know, going into this game with only a win in the past four, 3 draws against Motherwell, Hibernian and Dundee, with obviously that sort of statement win against Celtic that, while great, ultimately has done very little to change our season. So Johnstone are coming into this with 3 losses and a draw, having played Dundee United, Celtic, Hibs and Dundee in their previous 4. They're sitting 12th in the league right now, having played 22 with only 15 points, minus 20 goal difference, with Rangers still sitting second after 21 games on 41 points. Our head-to-head, as you can see there, in St Johnstone is relatively good. We've got just the 1 draw in the previous 6. Most scores within the kind of sitting about 2-0. The last match was 1, and there's a 3-0 in there. So hopefully indicative of what we might see come the game itself. So a nice, comfortable and sort of basic 2-0 win would help to calm things down a little bit. In terms of St Johnstone, what can we expect from them? They've been playing a sort of 4-2-3-1 system. They can occasionally transition into a back 3. Their right back is a sort of centre back, usually by trade. He can slide inwards. I mean, one of their better performing players, in fact, with their left back pushing forward. So that can give them a little bit more in attack if they're trying to go forward in that way. But they are very direct, play direct from the back, from the goalkeeper, and they'll probably find themselves in terms of an attack, of course, direct passing, long balls and crosses, transitions in that fashion, potentially trying to overwork or sort of pass over the midfield to avoid getting in a battle there, as the low quality players tend to lose out in these battles if they get caught up in the midfield. A team that does defend in numbers, as often many of the teams in SPL do. However, the fact that they're sitting lower in the division obviously shows that they've not been as successful with that. They do have a poor situational awareness, so they don't always see when there are potential balls in behind them or good players coming in behind them, which can work to obviously to the attacking advantage, and that has lost them goals this season. As I say, they are sitting quite low on the table. They're perhaps overperforming slightly goal scoring wise. I'll have a look at a couple of their goal threats in our next section. But the team doesn't really lie. Their form has been really poor, and if we really can't beat St Johnstone, then the troubles really will be told, because a lot of the ways that the teams that are performing well against us and keeping solid and being positionally aware within among their team are things that St Johnstone have been failing at. So we really should be finding ourselves able to get through those lines. They haven't cleared a clean sheet in 8 matches, which hopefully aids us in terms of actually getting goals. And they haven't won in 8 attempts either. So, as I say, everything's stacked against St Johnstone in this game. But no doubt they'll probably come into it thinking that they can get a point, having watched so many teams getting points from us in the run up to this game. So we still need to step up and put them away. Those are their danger men. Picked out their attacking winger, left-sided winger, Benjamin Kampioka. He's a strong, tall player. He's got 6 goals and 2 assists for them so far, 18 chances created, and one of their better pass accuracies at 83%, with 26 shots and 11 on target. You see sort of almost hitting 50-50 in terms of getting his shots on targets there. But his in terms of sort of winning duels, getting fouls, not so high on those sort of stats. So he's not quite as combative as some of the previous players that we've come up against, but still strong, and obviously potentially going to be up against some of our second-string defenders. So here's a player that they'll have to keep an eye on. I've also noted Nicky Clark, who I'm sure will be a familiar name to many. He's also got 6 goals from this season, although 3 of them have come from the penalty spot rather than open play. He's also got an assist, created 11 chances, and a pass accuracy of 79. Will tend to play through the middle for them as part of their attacking trident. So again, these are sort of decent players, but not ones that really should be causing a huge amount of issues to our defenders. I would certainly be saying that were we feeling a full strength defence. However, obviously that still will not be the case. So we're going to need to be sort of on the ball and paying attention to make sure that they don't allow anything to slip through. In terms of our setup for this match, we still have a lot of the defensive problems. There's our players being out. Balogun's still expected to be out for this game. I've just selected the same back four that I selected to start the previous match, which did have the surprise inclusion of Nsiala. He had an okay game the other night. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. So I'm inclined to just leave him there along with Proper so that they can just kind of continue playing together while we wait on other players coming back. Both Yefti and Yilmaz weren't great in that match, so they need to step their game up and improve in this one. Nicholas Raskin will come back into the side and presumably take over the captaincy again. So I've brought him back in alongside Diomande. Barron losing out in that one. In terms of up front, neither Hadji nor Barami had great games. I've chosen to drop Barami and bring in Danilo. I just think having that second striker will cause more trouble. He's a bit more dynamic in his movement and his runs. And I think that he can support Egerman up front. When Egerman moves around from left to or right, he can push up and into the centre. And kind of just push up to give us maybe a more focused 2 up front at times if it's going to cause a bit more trouble. I've put Hadji out on the left. It's probably just a personal preference. In terms of Hadji over Brahmi at the moment, Hadji has looked hungry and kind of on and off, so slightly more than Brahmi in my opinion, so therefore that's why I've gone for him. And Cherney, Cherney is the biggest goal danger alongside Egerman for the team and one of our most creative players, and one of the few players we have that I do think is a level above technically, albeit if he is a slight one-trick pony, but he does that trick well, so he will obviously stay in as well. When it comes to picking Rangers danger man, there really is only one choice right now. That is Hamza Egerman. Not the greatest of games previously either, but then none of the team really shone in the Dundee game. So, but he is still capable of having moments. Obviously, he scored the perfect hat-trick against Hibs. And I think if we keep playing him, we will keep scoring goals. 7 goals and 1 assist thus far for Rangers in the league, with a pass accuracy of 75%, created 16. Dribble success of only 39, something they can improve on a little bit. 42 shots but he does win possession with 7 wins in the final third, which is important. He's done that in the European games a couple of times, just nicking and to steal possession to get goals or chances. He is kind of the shining light in the darkness of the team at the moment in terms of giving us something that's a hope for the future, being a young player. While Cherney, as I say, has also been a top player for us this season. Whether or not we have him any further past this year, I don't know. So, man really does kind of shine the light at the moment for the potential and hopeful positive future of the team. And I think everyone is obviously enjoying watching him at the moment and seeing if, continue to see what he can bring to the team. So he's the danger man for this game and just in general for us, I think, at the moment. So as I say, it's a tough time for Rangers right now. There's a lot of really poor fan sentiment. Hopefully for at least the first 55 minutes, at least fans can get behind the team. I'm sure there will be many banners, chants, maybe things aimed at Clermont and the board during the game. But the best thing we can do is give the team itself our support and try and help them on the pitch to continue pushing forward. As a home game, so form is better, but if we don't want this away malaise to creep into our home games, then we need to try and keep the team on their toes. So hopefully they'll get, as I say, at least 55 minutes of strong support from the fans and endeavour to get this game. In terms of my prediction, I'm going to say it's going to be a fairly dull game, but we'll come out 2-0. Eggman with one, and I'm going to say Hadji with the other. So that's my prediction for the game. Good luck to the Bears. We'll speak to you again on the next Lowdown. And remember that every night is Rangers Journal night. Good night.